Hello everybody! So today I wanted to take a look at the Kinbor 2023 A5 planners. So this is actually like the Hobonichi cousin avec, so it is 2 books and the whole year is contained in here, so you have 6 months in each. And I think that just makes it easier, you know, so you can carry around a thinner book rather than having a whole year at once. So that kind of appealed to me as a journal. So I wanted to unbox it with you guys and take a look at it and check out the paper. We'll do some pen tests and just have a look at what is actually on all the pages. Okay, let's open it and take a look. Okay, so this is looks like a little manual about how to use the planner, which is really cute. That's really sweet. Then we have the 2 books, so we should have one for the first half and one for the second half. Oh yeah, so down here this must mean something in Chinese that I cannot read. I apologize. Oh yeah, and so this paper is really nice and thin. I'm not sure how it compares to the Tomoe River paper in the Hobonichi, because I don't own a Hobonichi, but I do own some single sheets of Tomoe River. And this is the 52 grams, so this is the original Tomoe River. It's a very similar color, actually it's a little brighter. And then the thickness I feel like Tomoe River is a little thinner. Yeah, so this feels a little more substantial than the Tomoe River paper, but definitely still has that kind of thin feeling and crinkliness. So we'll have to do some pen tests on it to see. But you have your 22, 23 and 24 calendars in here, as well as some holidays or events in Chinese down here, which I am too ignorant to read. So I wish I knew Chinese, but I don't, so I might have to get my little translate out to look at those, because that would be kind of interesting to know. And then we go straight into the monthly spreads. So this is really nice. It has it in English up the top here, which is very kind of them to put it in English for us. And then they have the Chinese characters, which I believe this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could be wrong, but I don't think it says like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it is fairly dark, so you probably can't write over it very easily. You might have to put a sticker over it if you wanted to actually put the days of the week, but it is a Monday start, so as long as you have that in your brain, day 1, then you're good. And then it has some days in here in red, which I am not sure, maybe they call back to the events from the main calendar, so important days in to remember in China. And then we have our Saturday and Sunday, which are in this bright pinkish red color. The Sunday is, and then the Saturday is just a gray. And you have some space down here. And you can see through this, like you can see the red from the other side, but it doesn't interfere too much. And then once we get past these, we go into January. So these are the full day spreads. So they have a number 1 for the month, so it's the first month of the year. They have Jan, which is very kind to put that in English. We have Tuesday in English, and then I'm not sure what that is. Week 3. Oh, okay, so week 3. So that's just the days within the weeks, which is really handy. And then we have these little symbols here for the weather, and you can see the bleed through from the other side. You could still write over that, it's not going to make a huge difference. And then this is super handy down here. It has what pages we're on, so we have the 8 and the 9 circled here. As you go forward, it shows you what days are in here, so super handy, and in English as well, which is really lovely. We have down the side here, we have the times, so we have some dots at the top, and then it starts at 6. I don't think I'm going to be using the times at all, because I'm going to use this as a journal rather than a scheduler. I have my little Kinbor weeks for that, for scheduling stuff. I don't really have a very exciting life, so I don't need to schedule too much. So I just got the weeks for the scheduling, and this is what I'm going to use to put in sort of daily events that are fun, or thoughts from the day, or anything like that. Just a journal mostly. I have been journaling for the last year or so, and it's kind of depressing. Most of the stuff I write in there is very soul searching and kind of, going through hard times in my brain right now. I have high anxiety and stuff like that. So it tends to be really negative, and I really don't feel like it's terribly therapeutic for me. And some people may disagree. They may really like journaling all of their negative thoughts, but I actually find that it kind of solidifies it in my psyche if I read it, and I'm like, sometimes I'm writing how much I failed today, or how I feel terrible and all this kind of stuff, and just reading back on that doesn't really help me process it. I guess writing it down in the first place does help a little bit, because you're getting it out and you're sort of talking to somebody, which is nobody, but at least it gets you, talking about stuff. But I really want this to be more of a positivity journal, so they can look back on it when I'm feeling terrible and remember how good things are. Up here, I believe in the Hobonichi ones, they have different colors for each month, whereas this is just this sort of khaki, warm gray here. And then on the weekends, actually I think it's just Sunday. So just Sunday. So Saturday here is still that warm gray, and then Sunday is this bright pink. So that's the color scheme in here, which is very neutral and nice, except for the really bright colors. And they're still highlighting those special days, which could be a little bit confusing for us in the US. I don't think those mean anything to us, unless, I think I did read some that were Thanksgiving or something like that. But for the most part, they have been very accommodating with us English speakers by having these words in English, the May and the Thursday. That's really very considerate of them. And then we have, I think maybe this is a quote here, so there is some Chinese quotes, which will be fun to translate. And then we go through June. And then once we've gone through June, it should end in some notes. Yeah, so it goes straight into notes section. There's no index or anything like that, but you get a bunch of blank pages at the end here. And let's have a look at these. There's some little planner pages here which seem interesting. So we have a schedule. So this is just a schedule for 1 week. I guess if you do the same thing every day, this is handy. I'm not sure what that is. And then a gift list, which is cool. And we have a 21-day plan. So that's interesting. Maybe I'll just use these for like ink swatches or something, because I'm not really using this as a planner. But maybe I could do little positive quotes in there or something like that, because I really want this to be something that I go back to and look at when I'm feeling pretty low. And I find that that really lifts my spirits if I look at things that I have written that are happy and positive. It's easier for me to focus on the positive rather than being overwhelmed by the negative, which I tend to do. And I really want to, I'm going to hopefully get a little printer to print some photos and, put little bits of memorabilia in here and stuff. I really want this, although like I said, I don't really have a very exciting life. I do have 2 kids and they are growing up fast, and I haven't really documented much other than, photos. So I would really like to document a little bit more about them and family and how lucky I am. I can be a bit of a pessimist sometimes, and I get very overwhelmed by negative thoughts. So I'm hoping this will kind of help me get back on track and realize how lucky I am, because I am very lucky. Okay, so this is the favorite section, which is cute. I don't know, it's really cute that this is still, like, I always think of this stuff being a digital thing, like my gift lists and favorites and stuff. I would just put it in a notes thing on the computer, but if you had this near and you wanted to write something down, I guess that's really handy. And then we've got a whole bunch of eye exercises, which is interesting, knowing how much time we spend on our computers, and maybe you've been scheduling and journaling a long time and you need to do that. So I'd be interested to see what this says. So I'll have to get my translator out and look at that. And then we have encyclopedia. Oh, cool. So it has the different sizes for A1, A2. Oh, interesting. So these are in millimeters, so we can easily convert those to inches. I might put a sticker over the top with the inches, but that is a super handy reference. I always find I need this when I'm shopping on AliExpress. For like watercolor paper and stuff, they always have things in millimeters, and so I'm constantly calling back to the conversion table on Google to check that out. So that's good. And then we have a map of China, which totally makes sense because this is a Chinese planner. So maybe I will have to travel to China now that I have this. Oh, and they gave us a world map, hoping to go back to Australia next year. So that will be really exciting. So maybe I can use this as a planner for that. That would be kind of cool. And then we have gourmet recommended. Wow, what is this? Oh, I'm dying to know what this says. Okay, so I need to translate that. And then got some little nature things here. I don't know what this says either. Oh, look at that lovely drawing. That's beautiful. So I'm not sure what these are, but I am intrigued to see that. Oh, and then a ruler. So you have a little ruler on the side here and some personal information. Yay! So that's the first book. It's pretty chunky, but I am actually going to put it in my Kokuyo A5 little binder here. So this is the little holder that I have that I think I can just probably slide it in. I have put a big piece of thick cardboard in here because I like a firm surface to write on, but I still think it'll fit. So let's see. Look at that. That's beautiful. It was made for it. But you got to put this inside, it won't flip. And then this has a little bookmark on it. And look at that. Even with the notebook in it, it still has enough room. This is the little notebook that it ships with. I am probably going to get rid of this and get something without rings. So there should be more room there for this. But this opens up. Look at that. It lays flat and everything. That's amazing. And then we have this nice hard surface to work on. Let's see if it closes. Even with that ring binder in there, it closes just fine. I just have this little crappy Daiso pen in here right now, but you can put in a fountain pen. Fits that no problem. And doesn't seem to, one second, does not seem to be interfering with the placement of that book at all. So that fits really great. Yay, so that is awesome. So if I take this out, let's just see. I take the little, this is the little book that comes with it. The paper is actually really, really nice. I've done some, this is where I keep some of my pen tests in here. And it actually works really well with fountain pens, the Kokuyo. But let's see, without it, it fits even more perfectly. So it lines up with the side here, which is really good. And then this is just the second half of the year, which has the same monthly layout in the beginning here, throughout the year to the December. Then you have a year plan and a blank sheet, and then it goes straight into the dailies. And then at the end, let's see, at the end we have a bunch of blank sheets again, and then we have the same stuff, which is interesting. I guess some people just want to plan, no, because you buy them together, so I'm not sure why they put exactly the same stuff in there. Maybe this was a missed opportunity to put some different stuff in the back here, or just some blank pages. That would have been good, but anyway, it's cute. Maybe you like to refer to those throughout the whole year. That's why they put them in there. But yeah, overall, I really like it. It's super flexible if you like that kind of thing. The paper looks wonderful. I'll have to do a pen test and see. The Kinbor paper, I think, is crazy different across each different book you buy. I think this Avec kind of one with the half year is actually different paper than the full year, and then the weeks is, I think, a little different as well, so it's really hit or miss. Okay, so let's do a pen test on here. I'm going to try some of my fountain pens and some other pens, as well as maybe some stamps. This one here is my Kinbor Weekly, so I just wanted to show you the paper on here, and it does look very similar, if not the same, and it does feel very similar. So it might be the same, which I hope would be great, because this one, although it does ghost a little, I mean, even with this Tombow down here, the stamp definitely bleeds through a little bit, but that's like a pigment ink. Here the Tombow bleeds through, not bleed, just ghosts. It's pretty heavily ghosting, but all of these other fountain pens seem to work really well. We have a couple, maybe a couple of little dots here. That's the Colorverse Martian. So yeah, let's try it in this other Kinbor and see how they go. Alright, so here's the results to the pen test. I just tried a couple of fountain pens, and I did the Tombow Fudenosuke, which is this one here. I did a mild liner, micron, and a uni pen, Sharpie, pencil, some pigment stamps, and some watercolors. So let's have a look at the results. Yeah, so they did pretty good. Same as the other Kinbor. I think it's pretty much the same paper. Oh, Sharpie. What a freaking disaster. I should have known that. I ended up getting a piece of paper to put in here. I always cut down this sort of, it's like heavyweight paper, and I use it as a pencil board because I really don't like the plastic pencil boards that you can get from Hobonichi. I find them really hard. I think you can get some cardboard ones, but I just thought I already have this, so I have these in all my notebooks, but I wish I had to put it in there before I did the Sharpie, but I kind of forgot. And then the watercolor did not bleed through at all. It makes the paper a little crinkly, of course, but did not bleed through. And the pigment ink definitely bled through here. These are two different types of pigment ink, but the secondary stamping of them was pretty good. So if you just wanted a light stamp, you could totally use those and just use it on the second stamp, which still looks really pretty. Yeah, so I think the major fail here is the Sharpie. Obviously, everything else I think performed really well. Even some of my wetter fountain pens did not bleed through, just like they didn't on the weeks, the Kinbor weeks. So I believe this is probably the same paper that is in the Kinbor weeks. So just as reference, again, there's a bunch of different weeklies. This is the horizontal weekly. I think they have a vertical, which I think has different paper. Yeah, so you'll probably get different responses from different Kinbor products, but these two seem to work really well, and I'm really excited. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a great little journal to use throughout the year. I'm excited to get started on it, and hopefully it will help me improve or stabilize my mental health. And yeah, I'm just wondering, what does everybody else out there use to keep themselves grounded? I've tried several different things. I have done a gratitude journal in the past, but I'm hoping this one will be a little more involved, so it will really keep me focused on positivity. And yeah, I'd love to hear if you guys keep a separate journal for that, or if you sort of combine it all together in one journal. I did get the weeks thinking that I would maybe plan on this side and then write like a journal for the week on this side, but I feel like this is quite a small space, so even if I had, you know, 2 or 3 things, I probably would want to put, you know, things that I have to pick up or appointments, details and things like that. So I'm guessing this wouldn't be enough room for especially a daily journal, which I want to keep. But yeah, I'd be really interested to hear how you guys are sort of managing your planning and journaling this year in the comments below, or send me to some good videos that you've seen on managing or formatting this kind of stuff. That would be really helpful. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.